we can get through the first, through the slides up to the 3-day algo and then go. You covered risk right now if you want to.
Yeah, certainly. Let's go ahead and do the slides here. We got a few things to cover. If we're going to talk about markets, we got to talk about risk. Futures, options, and currency trading all have large potential rewards, but they also have large potential risk, and you must be aware of the risk when trading. Any decision you make is yours and yours alone, so make sure you research it as necessary. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And you should always check with your licensed financial provider. So let's see the some of the big stories. Winds of war. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Rumors that the State Department issued a warning telling all non-necessary individuals to evacuate the embassy in Baghdad. So that does not look great for the weekend. In addition to that, we had core PPI come out this morning. The core expected at 3.7 came in at 4.2. Now there might be a blip here. To understand that blip, you have to understand what trade services are. Trade services are basically professional services like education, financial services, basically uh, non tangible products. Essentially, what's the? I'm trying to draw a blank on the word intellectual property. Essentially, so that bumped up. Trade services bumped up, and it pushed the core up. Might be a blip, but the overall still climbing, and that's a little bit scary. Now, end of month, this is the big deal today. Month opens, E-mini S&P 6938.50. We're a little bit below that. NASDAQ 25,530. We're a bit below that. YM 48,864. The Dow has actually climbed back above the open of the month, though it was down to 48,699 earlier this morning. The Russell futures opened the month at 26.15. That's sort of the bright spot for this market, Tom, because 26.18, the low today, they're doing well, but not as well as silver. SLV opened the month. I'm going to give you this number here. SLV opened the month at 73.80. Now, when we take a look at where SLV is trading right now, for those of you who don't know, SLV, the ETF commonly associated uh, with the silver market, they're up at 84.80 right now. So metals are doing very well, particularly silver. And that brings us into our next slide where we are going to figure out Tom's opinion on this market. So let's see. Tom, you want to go to the live market? What have we got?
Yeah, just to let everybody know what my thinking is, and I'll show you why I'm thinking this way. Uh, I've been telling people all week long that we had a window to be long, and then I thought by Friday that window would close, and I think we're seeing that today. You see a lot of information out there talking about. Uh, I call it misinformation because they're talking about this and that, but the bottom line is the market came down this morning, went to 68.42. I told you on Tuesday or Wednesday I'll be rolling over my hedges to re-up again for some more QQQ pocket puts. I might be doing more of that, and I'm thinking about calling a special briefing. Uh, maybe what I'll do. Uh, I'm thinking I got live trading at 130. Yeah, I got live trading at 130. So what I will do, I will have an open house, but we won't do it at 130. I'll start it at 230 live trading. Jonathan, is that okay with your schedule? 230?
We'll make it happen. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Reason I asked Jonathan because he's gonna play a big part in what I'm planning on doing. So I'm gonna have an open house at 230 because I want to position myself with the pocket puts and maybe some other things through live trading. We'll do that 230 today and try to get everything the way we need it. before the weekend, because I think we got a pretty big window at the end of the day. I'm telling you right now that the rally is running into a lot of resistance up here, and I'll show you why when we go live. Now, we'll come back after I finish live trading for the fun part of this morning, which is a review of the penalty tape. In fact, I had a conversation this morning with Jeffrey Hirsch from Stock Traders Almanac, and he says, why do you call it the penalty tape? I said, well, for 10 years at DTI, this was our marketing. And I said it was a penalty to having to listen to it because I'd listened to it so many times, it just came to mind. And he said, well, when did you listen to it? Anytime I lost money. It's that good. Did everybody have a chance to listen to the penalty tape, play in the game we're going to play when we get back? Okay. We got a quiz, and then we're going to have a drawing and a big prize that we'll give to some lucky fella or gal. So hopefully everybody here can answer those questions that we got. Jonathan and I worked on it together, and I think it's pretty good. So anyway, I'll be looking at comments. I'll be looking at everything. And Grace, somebody post a link of the penalty tape in there for Grace. Now, let's go to a live market, and here's what I really think about today. Remember, all trades posted in here are considered and tracked in TNT. Now, this is our resource book. Winning the Day Trading Games, the audio version. It's great if you're going for a walk to listen to that. What I talked about in Winning the Day Trading Game was very, very important. DTI white papers are legendary now with people getting those. We've added to them over the years. The YouTube page is where a lot of great education, better than watching TV, go watch the YouTube. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like what you watch. You got to know the language of the market, important terms to know. For example, if I say the word trigger, you got to do it. And of course, the option playbook is a way to learn options. I encourage everybody that has any difficulty at all with options, get this basic options playbook. I bought it myself, and I'm holding on to this copy. It's probably about the 15th time in my career I bought it, and somehow gave it away, I guess, over those 15 times. But I got a residential copy now, and optionplaybook.com. Pretty cool. So that's the resources we have. Let's look at the 3-day algo. Jonathan, take us through that and we'll go live.
All right, last trade day of the month. This is the second to last update that I'll do. When the market closes today, I'll update it again. Okay, so we're finishing up the month. We've got a current price of the S&P at 68.73. 68.73. So not a great month in the S&P or the NASDAQ.
Those gold and silver have been solid.
Yep. Crude.
And notice bonds, folks. Did anybody make that trade on Anchor? What a program we got there, Jonathan. Hats off. Great. I forgot to get out yesterday. I had another account with it, and I knocked it out at 99 cents this morning. I took it out down at 90 yesterday on one account, but I forgot about the account I had it in. Yep, 96 by Bucker. I love people to post their wins because that makes me and Jonathan and Chuck, all of us feel like we're doing something worthwhile for you, okay? Way to go, Peggy. Utilities are good. That's interest rate related. Silver. This is where the money to be made is in this market right here. Notice Amazon short. That whole list there, boy, is killing portfolios. See how important this 3-day algo is? Pretty good. Walmart, look at it. Interest rates are coming down. Sky's going to be a good long-term purchase. If you look at it, once it takes out 99, it'd be on headed to 110. Sky. We can wait to March on that one. But look at J&J, McDonald. Did you see? Here's a side note. Did you see they're going to make the Burger King Whopper? Anybody ever had a Burger King Whopper? I thought it was pretty good, but they're going to put it in a box to make it last longer. I thought that was pretty interesting. They're making a modification without changing the formula of what made it so successful. They are changing their mayonnaise to make it better tasting. I never noticed it. Anyway, I read an article on the Burger King Whopper this morning. Anyway, I must be getting bored, huh, to do that. All right, Peg, we'll post anything in the gold program for you to keep up. Can you come back this afternoon, Peg? All right, I'm ready. Let's go live. I want to go live. I've been wanting to go live, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking. We're going to go through the 7 sisters, and I'm going to show you why I think that the rally you're looking at right now towards the close might melt a little bit, okay? Let's talk about that. We'll bring up the E-mini, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, looking at the reference bars that we've had for the E-mini. By the way, if you got long positions out there with options, I'll say, I would thin the herd during this rally, personally. In fact, I did in my trading account, I pretty much got out of most things except gold and silver. Okay, let's bring up the E-mini, please. Just the E-mini where we see it. All right, if you look at the E-mini and go over and look at RBX. Does everybody see RBX right there? That is where the major resistance is, but it's also at the low of RB2, Jonathan. What's that, 6902?
Low of RB2 was 6,900.
Yeah, 6,900. So to me, we're in a heavy resistance round in the market, I believe, and you would have to take out the monthly open 69.38 to change my mind, okay? And let's talk about, that's quite a bunch to change my mind. So the 3 numbers I'm looking at, 69.38 is my all bets off number on the current market today. 6902 is my pivot number, which works out to be the low of RB2. Okay. Okay. And so right now, does everybody understand? I'm circling my wagons, meaning in my trading account, the only thing I've got in there option wise will be options on gold and silver, maybe a few stragglers. We'll talk about that. But generally speaking, I'm looking to circle my wagons. And at some point, 2:30, when we come back, open it up to everybody, coming back, what I'm going to do, okay, is by that time, I'm going to review everything, and then I'm going to make a decision on what I think, okay? That's my plan for today. So you want to be there at 2:30 if we make it. All right, so the E-mini, I've showed you where resistance is. Let's look at the NASDAQ real quick. It had the same resistance, but this time it's RB3. RB3, and the high of RB3 is what, Jonathan?
The high of RB3 is down
Not
at
3, RB2. I said 3.
okay. 25,078.
Yeah, and the one prior to that high is how high to go. Yeah.
098. 25,098.
Now, if you were up during that time period watching that, that was a sell signal. Notice the RB2 opened lower than the preceding bar, and we covered this yesterday. See that low created right there if you were up? That was a heck of a short right there at that time of day. And that was about 5 o'clock this morning, if you were up. That gave me the clue, whoa, okay, that was, here we go. And that was before the major news at 8:30, which took us even lower at 8:30. Then we went down, hit our low, and now we bounced. Okay, let's go to, next thing we're going to go is the Dow futures. Now notice the Dow futures got carried away. It went into a sell on RB2, a better sell on RB2, went all the way down to the low of RB3, broke it slightly, then rallied, but we're about midpoint. It's trailing right now, RB3. So its resistance will be at the top of RB3. And this is what you got to look at these reference bars for your support and resistance in the current market. All right, let's go to gold, which is a great story. I had everybody long gold. That's why I'm calling it a great story. Put the daily up there, Jonathan. Let's give it justice. That's been quite a trade this week, being long gold, if you look at it. In fact, for this week, if I go to my MTI by DTI, do that real quick with gold. Well, silver's up this week 10%. Might as well tell you that one. Gold, though, this week, let's just see what gold's up for the week. That was the early call. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, gold up this week's 2.5%. That's big for gold, up 2.5. I think it's going to go higher. Okay. So now we go to the 30-minute on gold and analyze today. Definitely a strong pattern there. And that high of gold is 52.76. John, we set an alert there because if this afternoon we take that out, I think it's going higher. Okay. 52.76. I'm writing it down in my clean white page I got here for gold. 52.76 GLD. Okay. Well, that's gold futures, but I'll go look at GLC. Okay. Now let's look at silver. So you'd be long gold, you'd be long silver. This is more than a day. Look at silver. That's a buy signal on silver right there. I'm actually long over on the future side, silver futures. Okay, so I'm smiling there. Yeah, put SLV in there, if you will, SLV for silver. Oh, yeah, miracle pattern there. Look at that, 84.76. 85's resistance, so we got a buy signal. We'll see if it gets stronger this afternoon, above 85. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go to Treasury bonds. That's ZB. Now, I've been telling you interest rates are falling. The markets are telling me that. I'm just translating the language to you. Look at that, 118.10. Put a daily up there, Jonathan, on that. Let people see why that TLT trade paid so good. Yep, look at that. Now put TLT in there. Wow. Just breaking out. 94 is its target. Write that number down, 94. Okay. All right. So that's TLT. Now let's go through a couple of the MAG stocks. Put Apple in there. Jonathan, start with the MAG first with the daily, if you don't mind. Go to the daily. If you look at the daily, you got Apple at 268.82. We know that 272.55 is where it turns back positive, but it looks to me like it's weakening. Let's go to a 30-minute chart, check that out. Apple. Yeah, it's given up a lot, that's for sure. Look at that. That's not pretty. All right, the next stock I want to look at is I call it a hot rocket, MU. Now look at MU. We start out with the daily. Question I asked myself, Jonathan, did we make a new low today over yesterday?
Sure looks like it. This morning's low was 401.18. Yesterday's low was 401.96.
I would set a reminder about 399. I would still give it credit for going higher as long as it stayed at 399. Let's go short term with it, see what it says short term. Yeah, it's still trying to fight its way back, but it's in. Does everybody see why I'm talking about resistance? Look at that line across the top there on MU. It's got a lot. For it to go higher, you're going to have these many go higher, I think, today. That's what I think, MU. All right. If I had some profits there or whatever, I'd probably take those and reposition next week. MU. Okay. All right, here's the big mama. Used to be Apple was the big mama. Now I call NVIDIA the big mama. I told you if it broke 193, it's going lower. Look at the daily. Jonathan, draw a line at 193 showing how good a call that was. 193. Right there, folks. Look at it. Then it broke 185, which was major resistance. And today it went down to about 180. What was the short term NVIDIA? All right, the short term, you got resistance up there at 184. If it breaks 179, we got another leg lower. That's how I'd look at NVIDIA. 184 resistance, 179 breakdown. That's NVIDIA. All right, let's go to GLD daily. All right. That's GLD. Sort of midway from the high to low right now, so I guess it could go either way. You want to look at the 30-minute? Sort of settling down here. Okay, that's the way I call it, settling down. About 475 is support, and I've got 483.5 is resistance on GLD. Put SLV in there. Now, before I even looked at the chart, I just know the number. I said about 85 is resistance. That plays out. Get above 85, next target would be that 91, 92, and then 95. To the upside, to the downside, I'd say 78 is a good support, 78 SLV. Now, Johnson, let's go through the 6 trades we did on Marathon, and let's just see what we're looking at.
Let's see.
I know TLT was one of them.
Yeah, TLT was certainly one of them. That It
All right, so we scored a victory there. What's the GDX was another one.
Yeah, GDX was a 116, 119 call spread. We took profit on that.
Okay, that's two. Okay, and then we have two trades on GDX.
The other one we legged into it at a net of 85 cents, and that's where it's currently trading. 85
Yeah,
cents.
that's I would get out of that right now and scratch it. Maybe a couple cents more, make a
Okay.
profit. I'd get out of it. What I'm trying to do by getting out of it, I'm going to reset everything this afternoon that I think it's going into next week. So I'm just sort of circling my wagons. I like to be as flat as possible. If you don't want to get out of it, I'd use 114.5 as long as it stayed above that. You could ride it out this afternoon. Everybody understand what I'm saying? 114.5 on GDX. All right, Jonathan, what else we got?
We talked about TLT. We talked about both GDXs. Let's continue the silver and gold discussion with SLV. Took profit this morning on the 85-88 call spread on SLV.
Okay.
So that's four of the trades. Now we get to the spot. Well, TLT. Oh, we already mentioned that. Excuse me. Yeah. The two trades not working are the SPY. We legged into a call spread on the SPY. We legged in at 24 cents. It's at 11 cents. We excuse me.
You okay?
Oh. Just need a little something to drink there.
Yeah, you want to get it and then we'll finish?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I have my videos on so you can't see me struggling over here. SPY, we legged into a net 24 cents. It's currently 11 cents.
Okay, here's what I would do. I'd exit this trade the next 2 hours. What's the next one?
QQQ. Let's see what the details of that one was. That was from the Orion trade. That's a 72-hour trade. Should be getting out of that.
Get out both of them. So what I've done, folks, is I took my profits and I scratched or got out of the other ones, and I'm reset myself to get ready for another leg. That's the way I trade. Okay. Way to go. My desktop, will you type your name where I know who you are? I wonder why Jonathan, why does he come in as my desktop instead of a name? I don't get that.
I don't know, but that's Mark. We
Mark?
asked him before. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
unless that's a new My Desktop, that should be Mark. I remember that from a couple weeks ago when we asked who My Desktop was.
Well, I don't know what David's asking about. I shouldn't have any. John, do I have anything else open right now I need to know about?
The diamond we can clean up. Probably should clean out of that one as well.
Yeah, get out of that one.
Following on what Tom said, he said buy the close today. Don't want to have pretty much anything trade wise on.
We'll start out March
new
fresh, unless I put on new trades this afternoon. Does everybody understand my strategy with my trading? I'm not hoping for anything. Dave Meyer, I know about the pocket puts. That's why I rescheduled. I'm going to get out of the ones I've had and get some new ones this afternoon. Thank you for reminding me, but I got a plan. I got a plan this afternoon, 2:30. All right, so the thing that you're going to lose a lot of money with, in my opinion, is having options that you're trying to hope to come back. Because I think it's maybe a 2 out of 10 chance that we get a lot higher today based on what I've seen. Now I could be wrong, but I got reference bars to help me. The reason I set up the 2:30 meeting today is because I wanted to come back and try to help y'all. That's why I'm doing that, okay? Yeah, now I have an SLV out in January. I'm not talking about that one. I'm killing it in that one, okay? Does anybody have the 67 call that we sold either 150 or 155? Huh? Carrie, no, we're not exiting the pocket puts right now. We're going to wait till this afternoon. Yeah, I'm not doing anything with that long-term silver, okay? All right, does everybody understand? Jonathan, repeat what I've said to make sure to hear it from you where we both said it and I'll listen to what I thought I said.
You said the winds of war are picking up this weekend, so you don't want to have much of any open positions on the board. So step one will be anything you have long option wise, try to take a profit or exit by the close if it's not working. The pocket puts stay on for now, but this afternoon when Tom has his 2:30 session that everybody will be invited to, he's going to roll the current pocket puts into new pocket puts that will be better positioned for a potential move down. I summarize it pretty good.
I think that's about as good as it gets. In other words, it's the end of the month of February, and I'm cleaning my books up where I go into March, with the exception of what I put on this afternoon. Everybody understand it? These options, the thing about options, folks, I've said this 1,000 times. The thing about options is you got that premium eating you up, even if you're right. That time premium will eat you up a little bit, okay? And I don't want to deal with that. I don't have the kind of market I can count on with options that are behind. I'd rather take a little bit and put that money in a new one. You know, not a loss until we quit, and we're not going to quit. So there you go. All right, so everybody understands my thinking. Why don't we go, let's go back to the slide. I got an announcement, John, on Silver Wheel today. We won't have that. Since I'm meeting everybody at 2:30, they can come there and we can do things there, okay? We'll just make it a continuation of that marathon. It was so good. Why don't we do that at 2:30? It's a perfect time during the day. See where this market is, see what happens after Genesis, what happens after RB2, okay? RB4, excuse me.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Now, the guys that are not members get quite a benefit because I'm trying to help everybody because I think it's that important when you see a market like this at the end of the month to try to give you some insight to maybe save a few chuckles here and there. All right, Jonathan, why don't we go back to the slides and talk about a few things.
Right. Now, Tom, we're going to post a slide link at the very end, but we've got about a 6 or 7 question here about the penalty tape and what I figured we'd do. This is probably the easiest way for me to make this happen is we're going to ask question by question. And as question 1 comes up, type your answer into the chat. I'm going to keep a record of who gets each question right. And the folks that get the most questions right will throw your name into, we'll number you, and then we'll throw your name into what's called a random number generator. I'll show it live. It'll generate a random number from the list, and whoever that is will get the prize. How's that sound, Tom?
Hey, that sounds like we're going technology-wise. I used to have Kelly pick people.
Yeah, I remember that. Put the names in the hat.
Yeah,
and pick.
she'd come in my office and reach in there and grab somebody, and that was her thing and my thing. But that's okay. We'll use your way, more fair. Everybody's got a shot.
Well, I guess you could have Paula do it the old school way with you, or we can do it the
Nah, she probably wouldn't want to do that.
All right, let's go. Question number one. I'll let you read it off, Tom.
Yeah, what was the main market I was talking about during the penalty tape? Back then it was called the, let me see what it was called back then. It wasn't even many back then. What was it called? It was called S&P, S&P 500. But E-mini is a good answer. It's about 500. Okay. We'll give everybody credit that got that one. Okay.
Yep. Give me a moment here. Tally everything up. Uh-oh. We got 3 Johns. You're gonna have to state your name and your first letter of your last name, I guess, to make this fair.
Johns, put your last name in there where we can separate the Johns. Sounds funny.
Yeah. A lot of participation like this. All right. Let's see the next question, Tom.
Okay. True or false? I trade the S&P futures on the very first day it opened for trading. That's true. I did.
All right. Questions on the board here. Let's see. Time is up. Let me tally the results. Everybody having fun?
It's fun. I'm having fun.
There we got somebody new playing along. Good deal. iPad? Don't know who you are. Gotta put your name.
iPad's got to put your name.
Hey, we had more people answer the second question than the first time.
Okay. Little side note, every future contract that came after that, that was my thing. Bitcoin, when they became futures, I traded it on day one. That was my thing, to always trade it on day one after trading S&P futures on the very first day. Did that for years. I didn't do the silver when they just did it on day one, but I did it about a week later. But just pretty much, I used to look and read that calendar and they'd bring it forward and I'd trade it on the first day. Going back to the days of the S&P. Dave, I appreciate your suggestion, but honestly, we're running this. You got to keep Dave in line. Bucks is eliminated off the album.
What's that? Yeah. Eliminate Dave.
Yeah, eliminate Dave. He's a good guy. We got to leave him on there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go on. Next question.
When I talked about the fall that happened in 1987, did I refer to it as a correction or a crash?
10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, that's it.
The answer for that one was the crash. They said it was a correction, but I said crash. And
right.
The reason, let me give you a little trivia. In 1987, the market actually eked out a small gain for the year. I didn't know that, didn't believe it until about 10 years later when I was looking at Stock Traders Almanac. I thought it was a misprint, but it was true. Little piece of trivia there. All right, Jonathan.
Tallying the results here, Tom.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'll keep talking until you come back. Now, I gave this presentation I was in California. It was at an event. They had a convention center, and it was called Day Traders USA or whatever. Their very first one they had, standing room only, and they had an overflow. I took everybody upstairs to a room and spontaneously gave this to that crowd. And luckily, it was taped, and that's where it came from.
It is a good one. Man, it's a good one. Real easy to listen to. If we did bonus points, Tom, we give bonus points to those that said they called it a correction, but it was a crash.
Yep. I used to get a kick out of these younger people. They said, well, we had a little correction there in 87. I said, yeah, you can tell they wasn't around. That was a crash. Brokerage firms consolidated at the time. E.F. Hutton got bought out. I mean, this just be some idea about consolidation went on.
All right, next question, Tom.
Okay. Did I introduce the roadmap to the market during the penalty tape? If you listen to the tape, I used the term roadmap to the market. That was the basis of software called Roadmap to the Market. All started there.
That was a tough one based on the answers. That was a tough one.
Yes, I did, John. I did. You listen closely. That was a separator there.
Sure was. That was kind of fun here, Tom.
Yeah. Well, the tape's outstanding still. A little outdated on some things, but it's still an outstanding tape.
Yes, it is.
Buck said also said roadmap controls your emotions. That's right. He wants extra credit.
All right, next one here, Tom.
Okay. What is the most important question every trader must answer to make money? Yeah, y'all listening there. A, long, short, or out?
Follow the easy, hard one with an easy one. Give you a break. Whoever answers C, we know what you like to do. What's your hobby?
Yeah, really. But that's how I see the market, long, short, or out, because I follow the S&P. Is it going up, going down, or should I stay out? You know?
That's right. And Adam, you can't answer this question. We know what your answer would be.
Yeah, Adam always goes for B. What's for lunch?
All right, I think I've got two more, Tom. Two or three more. Let's see what the next one is.
Okay. Every trader has different tendencies, but trading market has one common ingredient. What is it?
And this might be a little trick question. What do we talk about on a daily basis? All right, on a daily basis, what is the number one thing we talk about in terms of the method? And I'll start tallying up the answers right now for about 15 seconds. Think about the DTI method. This one could be a little confusing, but give a little hint. All right, let's go 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Mel, you're the last one to answer. Tom, why don't you tell them about the method and time of day?
Yeah, everybody, I asked a question at that conference. I said, what's your most important asset and nobody got it, but I think one lady, real cute girl out of Sacramento, I think, maybe it's San Francisco. I said, what's the most important asset people have? It's time. And what's the most important ingredient trading the markets, that common ingredient is time. Let me talk about that and just give you a further explanation. How many people, because they had a doctor's appointment, probably missed the best trade of the day? Not only because the best trade of the day happened during the time they were at the doctor's appointment. Or how many people were going to put on a trade and something got in the way and the time got in the way? And how many people look at the market on the basis of time? A lot of traders out there don't get it. I mean, they never talk about time of year, time of month, time of day. And that, to me, in my opinion, is the most important ingredient that we have to understand. Time, like at night, you know, the reference bar number one. People in my Futures First have found out reference bar number one becomes real important, not at 6:30 when it finishes, but at 9 o'clock once Tokyo and Hang Seng open. That's an example. Getting out of the market today and winding it down is important, because I do this just about every month. I'll tighten up on the last day of the month because I don't like to have a bias, because there's 3 days happening next week. I don't know whether we're going to go up, down, or stay out, but I know the following. They will give me the odds I need to make decisions. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Now, speaking of time, the next question, also a bit of a trick question, because you were talking Central Time back then, but I figured we'd have a little fun. And because the topic and the education, the insights hasn't changed, you just changed time zones, Tom.
What are the 3 times, if you don't get anything else, that you need to look at the market, even if you can't be there during that time? What are the 3 times that you have to look at the market and analyze that day? Using Eastern time.
All right, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
10, 12, and 2.
All right, John, you're the last one to answer there. Let me tell you.
Every time I think about that, I always think about Dr. Pepper, but it's not 10, 2, and 4. It's 10, 2, and 12. Everybody looked on a Dr. Pepper bottle? Speaking of Dr. Pepper, you ought to look at that stock in March for a long-term hold, okay? I own it now. I'm going to buy some more of it after the first 3 days of the month. Speaking of Dr. Pepper. If it sets up again. I'm glad we waited, Jonathan, to get here, okay? And so when will you be able to tell me who won, where I can tell him what they won?
In just a little while's time. We actually have one more question, looks like, so we'll go to that in just a minute.
Okay, got another question. Tiebreaker.
There you go. Still tallying up the results for this one here. All right, Tom, let's go. Last question.
A, B, or C? What's the biggest value of the penalty take? A, you learn what the first stock was I bought. you learn what year I started DTI. C, you learn about the process for trading. That's the key.
All right, another easy one there. Everybody should get that one right.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to tally these up here, Tom. Let's see.
I will announce the prize after you tell me who won.
Let's see here.
And before you announce it, John, the winner, I want to talk, and then you announce the winner, okay? Once you know who it is. I don't know who it is. He knows after he does his thing. You got to be here.
All right, looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people in the running. So this
11 people in the run. You want to announce who's in the running?
I'm going to do this. This is something called a random number generator. Minimum 1, maximum 11. And when I click generate, it's going to tell you the number. And I'm going to go look at my list here. Generate. Wow, look at that. Number 1. Number 1. I didn't expect that, but number 1 gets it. And number 1 is, hey, Buck. You're the lucky contestant there, Buck. You got it, Buck. That's really, really awesome. Buck, you're always here. You're always participating. So you were the first on the list. Not because you're always here, always participating, but by the luck of the random number generator, Buck, you're it. Buck Jones. Thanks for always being here, Buck.
Okay. Here's the prize that I'm going to give. The prize I'm going to give, I thought long and hard about this, and I thought, what's the biggest thing I can do for somebody out there? Well, I thought about being face to face with somebody would be probably the best thing I could do for you. And so I decided, Buck, if you want to, you can attend my September 21st class in Ponte Vedra on a Monday and Tuesday, which has got a $5,000 value. And that's what we charge at no charge. That's on the 21st. So make sure Kelly knows that Buck is coming, and we'll make a bunch of money together on September 21st. I like the way Jonathan did this. Congratulations, Buck.
And Buck, I'm going to ask Kelly to reach out to you. Do you have you can type a time into the chat if you have a time specifically today that's best for you, or I'll just ask Kelly to reach out to you today sometime. Okay, sounds good, Buck. Thank you. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, I think what it does, it goes to show you what you're learning from DTI started a long time ago. We got better over the years, but that penalty tape is still worth a listen. And again, if you lose money, have a losing day, I'd go listen to the penalty tape. Believe me, back in the day, I used to listen to it a lot myself. That was the rule back in the day. And I think it'll help you. It gets you back centered, because you are going to have days that just doesn't go your way. You get very disgusted or whatever. But I think it will keep you involved and get your head straight about the next set of trades you make. I think it'll help you, in my opinion. Now, I want to cover something I'm really big on, and we're going to talk about it. I'm starting a series. Well, let me give you a little background. Okay. This is years ago, I had a course I taught. I don't teach it anymore. Sometimes if you're with me on one-on-one, I'll teach you some of the elements of it. And I designed this because I finally found something over on the future side that I can teach you, and it's going to take me 90 days to do it, how to take advantage of the hottest ticker on the planet, which is silver. And this new, what do they call it? Mini contract. Is that the term, mini? Okay. The mini contract of silver is 100 ounces. Now, 100 ounces of silver right now is worth $9,000. So if you went to one of these metal places and bought it and said I want to buy 100 ounces of silver, it would cost you $9,000. Does everybody understand the math there? $9,000. Now, we made a bunch of money this year, made some today on SLV on the stock side. Everybody understands that, right? And so the new 100-ounce silver contract opens the door for all people to learn futures. And I decided to go back in time and bring forward over the next 90 days how to trade this silver. Whether you want to trade it around the clock, where you want to trade it overnight, where you want to trade it for the week, where you want to trade it for the month. And I did that because trading 3 units of silver, you'd only have to put up $6,000 if you did all 3. But you could do a 1 unit for maybe $2,000. You got to put up, you just put the money up to give you access to your futures account to trade it. So it's very well within the reach of people that want to trade it. And so my plan is over the next 90 days is to focus on setups that you could do. First, we'll focus on those around the clock, which is the daily, get in and get out. That way, anybody here can pick a time that I give you throughout the day that fits your schedule, and you can trade silver. Does that sound pretty cool to learn that? Like during the day today? Like, for example, there's a certain time you can trade silver that you could go in and make a trade on silver, okay, and get out by the end of the day if it's going your way. Well, by doing that, I thought I might as well teach people to do this, okay? So I'm going to dedicate myself, me and Jonathan. Monday night, we'll dedicate ourselves to cover this. And I'll discuss the strategy integration, how to use day trading with reference bar setups, how to set up a weekly trade from Sunday night through the week with SLV, or not SLV, but with the silver contract, show you what you would make off if you bought SLV versus what you'd make if you bought the micro, putting up $2,000. And that's my plan. And it starts Monday night. So it's $4.99 for this 90-day membership. That take me that long. Gives you time to get set up to trade it. Okay. Last night, this morning, I looked up there. I made $1,115 by putting on a trade last night, putting on a trade this morning, and taking my profit off that contract, $1,100. That's pretty good. There's a lot of potential here for people. Doesn't this excite people to want to learn the futures program, that 90 days? focus on the silver. Tell me if am I hitting a home run here. All right, now here's what I got to tell you. You need to check if you're already a member of the silver or the futures itself, obviously you'll be included. I've asked Adam to go through the list to make sure everybody's subscription is intact. So you need to, if you've got any concern about that, you need to check with Kelly or Jeffrey Ondraka and let him double check when it's in, because that is the important part. So this is my plan, to hold your hand and show you this about silver, staying singly focused on something very simple, long, short, or out, and how to play it. I'm pretty excited about teaching it, so I hope you are. So get signed up. Let me know if I've convinced you today to come join my 90-day program in silver. Let me know if you're going to sign up, because I think I'm hitting a home run here. No, Steve, it will not be included with the silver wheel. This is futures. Jennifer says if you sign up for this, she's a member, you'll get a whole scholarship, okay? Yeah, if you're already a member of my futures program, it's included. That's the only ones that's included here, if you're a member of my futures program. Everybody else has got to pay for this great education I'm about to do, which is $4.99. So don't assume. Got any questions, talk to Kelly or Jeffrey. This is going to be big for people. I won't charge $4.99 the next time I do it. When I do it, it'll be a lot more than this, because we'll keep track of the results of what we do. And I think you're going to find out you'll have a scholarship pretty quick with me during March. Way to go. Way to go. Get signed up. You'll get a manual on this. You'll get an executive summary. We'll put it together at the end of our 90 days to have it to refer back to. Jonathan to keep up with it as I teach it. Folks, I've enjoyed this. It's 12 o'clock. You're invited, open house, to come back at 2:30 today. 2:30 today. If you didn't listen to that penalty tape, listen to it again. We might do that game another time later on. $2.30. I'll put your number there and I'll be glad to call you. Put your phone number in here, I'll call you. Wish that font was bigger. I had to lean forward. Fun day today.
Yeah, what a surprise, Tom. I had no idea you were gonna have that big a surprise, and couldn't be happier for Buck, who's always here, always participating. Congrats to Buck.
Well, and I got to tell you, that's the fairest drawing we've had in all these years of DTI. I like the way you did that, Jonathan. Hats off to you. Let the technology do it.
That's right.
Yeah, Bob, I'm supposed to call you about the July futures class. I got you on my list. Type your number in here to make it easier. Type your number in there, Bob, and I'll call you when I get done right now. Yeah, Jim, I'm gonna hold off on doing that today. I thought it would be more apropos at 2:30. And I think I can help you a lot better than at 2:30. That's why I'm doing it at 2:30 my time. I want to see RB4, and then it's the end of the month, and it's a chance for me to have a real good early look at the afternoon. As you know, I'm all about making money.
Just a reminder, there's no silver wheel today at 1. There's no live trading at 1:30. We are all invited back to the 2:30 session with Tom, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll throw a Zoom link into the Telegram channels very, very soon once that's created, and we'll get the room open and we'll see you all there.
A little different here on Friday. A little side note. Got one last poll before we go, okay? I wanted to poll everybody if that's okay.
Sure.
I and Jeff Smith are going to be helping produce the Commodity Trading Almanac. Just who's interested in getting an early copy of that? Just poll. I want to see how many people's interested in it. We're changing it around. I think it's good. We'll do a poll here. If that's okay.
Yep, typing it up right now. How many years has it been, Tom, since
2013 was the last edition, and a friend of mine, John Person, helped, and this time it's going to be me, and I invited Jeff to help. And so the Commodity Traders Almanac, who's interested once I get further in the process? How many people?
I don't know, anybody's answer could be no, but I'll let the result tally up.
Yeah, everybody answer it if you can. I'm gonna send this to Jeffrey Hirsch and let him know the interest is out there.
Got 114 people in the room that can answer yes or no. If you're paying attention and able to answer the question so we can send it off to Jeffrey. Mr. Hirsch, we've had him on how many times, Tom? You got him on
Twice so far, and I've invited him for Sawgrass to come. If the schedule works out, we'll see.
Oh, that'd be great. Now, we're not talking about the Stock Traders Almanac. We're talking about brand new, essentially. How many years was it, Tom, since the Commodity Traders Almanac was released?
2013 was the last edition.
Okay, so hadn't been issued in 13, 14 years, however many years that is. So not the Stock Traders Almanac that is currently active every single year. We're bringing back the Commodities Almanac, and Tom has the privilege of working directly with Jeffrey Hirsch to do that.
Hey, Jonathan, call me when we finish this real quick. Then I'll call Jay Owen and Bob, but I want to talk to you next.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you check that. How many we got total?
I'll go ahead and end it. We had 95%. Not as much participation as I would like to see. We got 95% for the people who answered. We got 2 people that don't trade commodities, don't care about commodities.
They're making a mistake. Okay.
Yeah, what do we always say about stocks versus futures, right? Futures lead the market. Commodities are futures.
Alan, nothing wrong with that at all, because I'm friends with him, but it never hurts to learn new things. Thank you, Walter, for joining the Commodity Futures class. Looking forward to it. Yeah, good. All right, let's, Jonathan, call me, and I'll tell you what we need to do.
Okay, sounds good. Now I do have a stream that Adam wanted me to play. Let's see what it was. It was Oh, it was on futures. It was on this deal of futures. I can play the stream. We can have
Yeah, play the screen for people where you can pick it up, and then give me a call once you get that going.
We'll do.